London is home to many cultures and their cuisines. It's what makes eating out in the city close to tasting the world. In my neighborhood, Dalston, you get a taste of what the Turkish and Kurdish diaspora offers as part of this mosaic. Even though original residents are moving away and East London's edgy yuppies are flocking in, many shops are still Turkish in nature. So Dalston is the ideal place to host a Mangal, a Turkish barbecue. I'm Berkok Yüksel, a food writer and barbecue enthusiast. Today, I'll be fighting through my hangover and preparing a meal for friends. This is Mangal for my friends. We're gonna be going to a farmer's market that opens up on Saturdays in the parking lot of a church. It's called Growing Communities. I like doing my shopping on Saturday over there just because even though it's a small one, there's enough variety in terms of produce and the actual quality of the produce really shines. Oh. This is hot. This is called a gözleme. It's essentially a very thin flatbread filled with greens and cheeses and different kind of goodies. The reason I like it here is, first of all, she doesn't go easy on the salt, and I'm a big fan. And the second is she does it with ingredients that these guys actually bring here. Usually in Turkey, the classic ones are either sort of a ricotta-like cheese, just some white cheese, or spinach, or a combination of those both. Occasionally there's also potato and minced meat filled ones, but I think the more traditional ones are a bit more vegetarian. And it's a delicious little snack. To finish up on the ingredients, we stopped by my local Turkish grocery. This is where we turn an ethnically ambiguous barbecue into a proper Turkish mangal. So one thing you'll hear from every Turkish person abroad is that there's a shortage of good yogurts in supermarkets. And we usually try to make do with Greek yogurts. The thing is with Greek yogurts, most of them are too sweet and sometimes too watery. So what I kind of learned to do is add some lemon juice into it. So to make it a bit more sour the way Turkish style is. In the end, when you add like garlic and other things to it, it changes the flavor profile already. When you say bread in Turkey, this is what you get. It's sort of like the Vietnamese banh mi bread, and similar to a baguette in terms of taste, but a bit softer and fluffier inside. They call it somun ekmek. Next up is the butcher. Turkish cuisine is rich in vegetarian and vegan dishes, but it's the consensus that the jewel of a mangal day is meat on the grill. Aziziye Butcher is my go-to for the variety of cuts and their spiced meatballs. This place actually, their köfte is amazing. Köfte, you can make it yourself, but usually butchers have a better sense of how it should be. But they always run out. I had some in the freezer, so I think we'll use that. But it's especially on the weekends, if you don't come early, they just run out. They run out of ribs as well. So that's also how you understand a butcher is a high quality butcher. They always run out of things. So instead we're gonna get some diced lamb and skewer it and use that one. Okay, now we got everything we need. We got all our meats. These butchers were very helpful and they got some special cuts for us. Now it's time to go and prep the food. Alright, we're in the kitchen now. So, like any barbecue, our focus is going to be meats. In Turkey, we don't usually cook steaks on the barbecue or burgers. A classic barbecue in Turkey would have usually köftes, so these are lamb mincemeat meatballs. You get these from butchers mostly, but you can also make your own with spice mixes, etc. We have some chicken wings, some lamb chops, and some diced lambs. Skewers are usually something you get more at restaurants, but if you have them, you kind of go for it. You skewer your meat, and then on high heat you grill it. Even though it's a barbecue and meat focused, Turkish people usually have to have some sides accompanying it. What we call these are mezes. Mezes are little tapas-like plates that you share. They're mostly vegetable or beans based. Today what I'm gonna do is have some yogurt-based ones. Yogurt is essentially what butter is to French cuisine, in Turkish cuisine. We have it with everything. We're gonna have some mezes based on yogurt. We're gonna have some mezes with tomato paste, what we call salsa. It's a bit of a spiced tomato paste. We have a lot of vegetables. The idea is to have a lot of fresh things come together and bring out each other's flavors. Our drink, rakı, usually dictates the kind of mezes you have to have on the table. It's a very strong anise flavored drink. So what we try to do is have a lot of different vegetable and yogurt based mezes together that complement the drink. And it's going to be all a very sharing platter kind of thing. And it's not going to take us that much time. Charcoal I use, these briquettes, are Japanese charcoal. It's called binchotan. It's like the fancy posh charcoal you can find. I think in Turkey it's not a thing, but in Japan obviously, but also here in like fancy restaurants they usually use this one. It's sort of a long burning charcoal, so it actually, you know, gets to higher heat and stays there for a longer time. We have some botarga from Tunç Balık in Istanbul. And then we got some hummus, we got some courgette flowers, some grilled eggplants, some more hummus, some tzatziki, regional spicy tomato and walnut salad called gavarda. And yeah, enjoy. I like to think after controlling fire, humans didn't wait much to start grilling meat. You could say barbecues are a 2 million-year-old tradition. It's in our genes to convene around hot embers and grill food, eat, talk, feel together. For Turkish people, Mangal is a celebration, a time for community, a Narnia-like passage to home. The friends around today's table have moved to London at different points in their lives, from different cities, for different reasons, but their experiences have a lot in common. And in classic Turkish style, after a few glasses of rakı, the conversation flows into life, politics, emotions. I want to say no, my way of living is also Turkish.
Yeah.
Like my culture includes this, but also the more I defend it to, you know, foreigners here, whenever I go back or whenever, you know, the elections happen, etc., when I sit down to think about, you know, the Turkish cultural fabric, and I'm like, actually, no, like a majority of the country is not like me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I feel like you said, a foreigner in my own country, and I feel like a foreigner, obviously, here. And I can't reconcile those two where I'm like, okay, what is my home then?
No Place Home, baby. Shanta Rakarman has a film called No Place Home. I think we should all watch it.
No, I get what you, yeah.
I don't want to take it here, but like it's the same. Like when we came here, I came here with the idea of I'm gonna be a British and European citizen, and within 3 years the Brexit happened. So it means that like majority of English don't think like me either. So it comes to the point like where do I belong then?
Heidegger says that bir yere gitmek istemek orayı ötekileştirmektir. How can you translate that?
Wanting to go somewhere is making it the other, maybe, like
Or the foreigner.
remove
The stranger?
wanting to go
Make
somewhere is
someone
acknowledging it's not where you are, maybe.
He says that, and then he argues and questions that if you go to somewhere and then you're not a political person there, you're not involved and have interaction with the problems within that area, you're always a tourist. And that's why, like, obviously I am watching the news of the UK, but I am not really involved. That's why I always feel like a tourist here, but also I feel like the fight in the Turkey is obviously my fight, but not my fight at the same time, because it's old questions and like we are going kind of backwards, and I don't want to fight about that either. I'm gonna hate myself about saying this, by the way, and people can hate me too, but I'm just being honest. Yeah, I feel belong to somewhere if I'm political in that place. So I feel like a tourist here, even though if I maybe gonna live here for 7 years.
But there's an interesting way of connecting with people in Turkey where you find your shared values very quickly because it's so polarized. I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, even here, when I go to Turkish shop and the lady, it happened today when I was talking about we're gonna do a barbecue, etc. And she mentioned she used to smoke but quit, and then said, I still smoke when I drink, but I only like to drink when it's like a beach, etc. And I felt like we both relaxed for a second, where okay, you drink, I drink. We're clearly from a part of the community where we have more shared values, etc. And I feel like here it's a bit more difficult because it's not
Everyone
so
drinks.
obvious.
But at the same time, you feel a lot more free to just say whatever you want to say here. Whereas if you're in Turkey, the first 5 minutes of the conversation is probably like analyzing. To say like, like you're looking for signs to see what kind of person that person, and then you can maybe freely speak about, I don't know, drinking alcohol or doing some of the things you do.
In Turkey, I feel like because we talk so much about politics, we kind of end up like acting as a whole group, or like having the same like belief to the same keywords because we talk about it so much. So like we create these like mega echo chambers. Like they don't have that here, so it's hard to tell like by their beliefs because they don't have the same belief
And I
like
think
we do.
these surroundings make us feel better or like nice and a bit at home, because when we enter here, we know the vibe, we know the shared value, and
Yeah.
we're suddenly like, yes, it's still an echo chamber, but we're like, okay, now I am in a place where I know what people are thinking to a certain extent.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
For anyone from Turkey, Mangal is a pocket of home. It's a moment of relaxing shoulders, steeping in the smells of anise and charcoals, not thinking about how to act, simply living, enjoying, belonging. It's when the people around you and the emotions you share with them become your home. When Anthony Bourdain said, "Barbecues may not be the road to world peace, but it's a start," he must have meant something like this. And even if you were wrong, it's a good time anyways. This is my treat for every barbecue day.
It's been 3 months I'm not cooking.
Holy shit. Okay. Do you want me to cook something for you?